Hello everybody, welcome to another Ask Nerida Joy video. I wanted to talk about something a little different today, and that is about something that I have seen on some of my clients and myself in areas where fillers were applied. So most fillers that are injected into the skin, some of them are with a very thin needle, some with a slightly thicker needle. The type of filler that I have had where I first noticed some little broken blood vessels was something called Artefill. And Artefill is a filler that I had done some years back in my nasolabial lines, which are these lines here. That particular filler does last quite some time. But what I noticed just in having it done a couple of times over the past 10 years is that I did get some broken blood vessels. And as I see a lot of my clients that are doing more and more filler, that I am noticing broken blood vessels as a result of the needle going in and just the trauma to the skin. So the blood vessels are very common with the different fillers. But also, anyone who even has their nose done, nose surgery, you'll often see the burst blood vessels around the sides of the nose. And that's all because of the trauma to that area while having the surgery. So they're easy to have removed once the little blood vessel has come up to the surface, and a lot of them come up very quickly. You might have what we call those spider nevi, and those ones can be zapped with your dermatologist. A coagulation of the blood vessel happens and they just wither up and die and disperse in the system. So that is how you get rid of the little spider nevi that come up. They're the burst blood vessel with all the little legs coming off that. And then the ones that are very clear where you can see the outline of the blood vessel, those particular ones also. You just have to have them zapped. I mean, it hurts a little bit, you get a little scab, and I had a couple done around my nose some time back, and they never came back. And sometimes you might need to get it done a couple of times. So that's one thing that can happen as a result of fillers. The other thing that happens is that I noticed in my on my chin down here, when I had a little bit of a filler, and this was more of a mass filler, and this one was called Sculpture. It lasts around 3 years, and I think I had it done probably 3 or 4 years ago. I noticed these filaments coming out of my skin now, and it almost looks like a hair, but a little thicker than a hair. It's not the sebaceous filaments, which you often see. This one is something you cannot squeeze. They start to come out of the skin, and I'm noticing it exactly where I had filler and a little bit in my nasolabial. So sometimes I'll notice one up here, and I'll see it as a tiny little bump, almost looks like a little bit of loose skin. And I pull it out with the tweezers. You can't, as I said, you can't squeeze it. It's not going to come out that way. But I have my tweezers. So I have a variety of tweezers that I like to use because as estes, we have to sometimes tidy up eyebrows or reshape eyebrows. So I have my different tweezers here. And my tweezers, I have different ones, I think, your tools are really important in that they all kind of mold to your personal hand. So when you buy them, they fit to you. So it's good that you have your own tweezers and your own, any of your tools. You should have all your own tools. So you're not sharing them with somebody else, because the way that you hold them and everything, it does mold to your grip. So I have my tweezers, these are mine, and the ones that you'll see, some of them are slanted, some more slanted than the others, and these ones here are pointy. So these are the pointy ones that I use when I'm going to remove these filaments. And as I said, I'm noticing it more and more on clients more recently, I guess in the last couple of years. I think that, it stays, some kind of residue is coming out from fillers, and it's just an observation. I've not discussed it with the doctors. I just know that that's what's happening with some of my clients, exactly where they've had their fillers, and like me, the same thing. They're just these filaments just sticking out, and I have to use my little pointy tweezers and pull it out. So I was going to try and show you what one of them looks like. They're quite sort of dry in substance, and they almost look like they've got like little, it's not a smooth line. It almost looks like it's got little legs off it, almost. I mean, that sounds pretty terrible, but you know, so I just want to see if I could try and show you one on myself. I usually will scratch a little bit with my nail here, and then I'm going to see them. And as I said, it's not anywhere else on my face I get them. They're not blackheads, the regular blackheads from oil, like I will get a few around my nose. This is in the places where I've had filler, my nasolabial and right here. I'm not able to show you really what they look like, unfortunately. But they are very dry, and as I said, I'm just getting them in the areas where I did have a little filler. Probably might even be longer. It might be 4 years ago, something like 5 years ago. I honestly don't even remember. I'm sure it's probably that. But I just find it really interesting that that these little filaments are actually coming out now. And as I said, it's little filaments, and I am noticing it's going away, the filler too. So I just sort of thought it was interesting, and I thought it would be something fun to share with you. So that's it for my video today, and I hope you found that interesting. I need to have a chat with a doctor about that. I do have a couple of fabulous doctors that I really like to work with and talk to. So I will get back to you with conversations that I've had with them regarding this at a later date. So I hope you enjoy your day, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.